So in this video, I want to talk about an old favorite topic of mine. And that is aliens and extraterrestrial life. This is a big topic I used to like just well, I still do to a certain extent, but I used to be very, very, very interested in it more in the past and recently. Being that I mean, over the time, you just see the body of evidence and everything when it comes to aliens and stuff. And to me, it was just underwhelming. I really, the more and more I saw, the more and more I felt that it was just, for the most part, people who have vivid imaginations and didn't seem to realize that. I just didn't see anything that really, really, really convinced me about the aliens and whether they've been here or not. Now, recently, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast and he had a guest on named Bob Lazar. And the thing is, I've never even heard of him before watching his podcast. So I had no clue about this man and his history and everything that surrounded him. So I just came in with a blank slate. And boy, he tells a remarkable story. The thing is, though, it's not that it's remarkable, but it's frightened. To me, it frightens me because I'm listening to him and nothing about it screams BS or him himself. It all scaringly adds up. I mean, you see all these things that are going on, and I mean, there's many things to describe, and it's hard to put everything on the table here on this video, but I'll just try to do my best to best explain who Bob Lazar is and his story. So basically, Bob Lazar was a former scientist who claimed to work for the Los Alamos labs in Nevada, I believe, for the U.S. military. S4 as it's called, and this is a facility that was near Area 51. And he claims that he was brought into a program there that was basically had him and many other scientists working on an actual alien spacecraft or technology, as it seems. It would seem to be pieces of a craft or the craft or whole craft itself that had the ability to manipulate gravity. Now, like I said, it's a good idea to watch the Joe Rogan podcast before you watch the actual Netflix documentary about him, which is the other part I want to talk about too. The Netflix documentary is about Bob Lazar and his claims. And I'm just making this video just to just put it out there and just, inform people. And I think it's worth a shout. I think it's worth a viewing because so much of what he says seems so very credible, and his story seems very, very credible. To me, it's kind of reinvigorated my interest for this topic, to be honest with you. Whether he's a liar or not, I don't know. It's just, to me, I've never seen a tale like this that didn't. Because everything I've seen before with these UFO people and UFO stories and stuff like that is just like, you can say, oh, it was that, or you can say it's this. It's just like, there was nothing to me that I would say was concrete or didn't, or anything that to me didn't pass the smell test. I mean, a lot of it just smelled funny, and a lot of those people just seem to be people who wanted to see what they want, people who just wanted to see what they wanted to see. But so many of the things that have happened in his story seems to just raise a lot of suspicions. Like, why did the government raid his house on multiple occasions, go all out of their way to intimidate him, and even try to destroy his life when he came out with this story? He first came out with this claim on the news in 1989, and then subsequently and this was under an anonymous alias. I think it was Dennis or something like that. So, and then after that, he came out out of anonymity, and then he exposed what he did at Los Alamos Labs to the world. And then after that, so much things happened in his life after that. He seems very reluctant to even talk about it, and it doesn't seem like he's a person that even likes the limelight. You could tell a lot of this stuff does make him uncomfortable. And so in the documentary, you get the whole backstory in itself and personal interviews with him and other people. The actual documentary is done by, I believe his name is Jeremy Corbell. He does the documentary. There's a few other documentaries before about this kind of topic, but this is a documentary that's available on Netflix, so go check it out if you're interested in this topic. But that gives you more in-depth look at who Bob is and what he's about and his story. One of the things, and I'll leave it at this, one of the things that for me really interesting was that he says all this antimatter, all this technology was based off of an element that didn't even exist at that time, element 115, which he claimed back then was being used in this technology, and then lo and behold, only a few years ago, this element was just recently synthesized and discovered. And like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg and all these things. It's interesting. I'm not gonna make any kind of claims or anything like that. But if you are the kind of person who's actually open to these kinds of things, you should definitely check out Bob Lazar on the Joe Rogan podcast and check out the Netflix documentary, because I think this will raise your radar definitely. I don't know. I just like this topic because to me it's a fundamental question. I mean, are we alone out there, and have we been visited? Don't take my word for it. Go watch those videos, the podcast and the Netflix documentary, and then come up with your own conclusions. And then if you want, chime in and let me know what you think. All right. Until next time. Adios.